reason why I was so impressed with Laura's work is that what she makes clear is that the fact they're not voting is our fault, not their fault. And we have to stop blaming young people for not being able to navigate a system that is fundamentally hostile to people participating. I mean, imagine that you could devise and design an election system where the only time you cannot register to vote is at the time of maximum interest, right before an election. And so this is not an easy system to navigate. Most countries in the world don't even have voter registration. We're very unusual in that there's this enormous barrier for participation in the United States that doesn't exist in virtually any other country in the world. And so what Laura has figured out, I think, and the reason I'm such an enthusiast for her and so enthusiastic about her work is that as somebody who's been doing this for a very long time, I think that organizing around high schools is kind of brilliant and it's manageable. And I just want to, before we go to questions, I just want to say 4 ideas for you to all kick around about how you could incorporate this into your communities. One is you can work directly with the Civic Center, right? You can help expand their program into your communities. The second thing is you can take this research and help local politicians understand that they should be building programs in high schools, that they can do the work through their offices and through the official side of their business, mayors, city council people, county officials, state reps, they can become advocates for this and push local high schools and organize and do the work. I think that would be enormously powerful. Many politicians go to speak at high schools all the time, right? I mean, it's very common for local politicians to do it. Why not really go there with a mission to bring this theory of the case to these schools? The third is we all know students, right? I mean, I'm actually talking to my daughter, 17. I'm trying to convince her to set up a program in her high school. She didn't know. We live in DC. She didn't know she could pre-register. None of her friends are pre-registered. That no one knew anything about this. It was kind of incredible when I engaged her and her friend group. None of them knew they could pre-register. And these are, kids of, in DC, right, who are pretty politically astute. And so there's enormous opportunity, I think, through our relationships with people that have kids who could become champions for this in their schools, kids who want to bolster their resume for college, right? And then the fourth thing is that the Democratic Party part of this, politicians, the Democratic Party has an enormous interest in this. And it's something that needs to be brought into the party infrastructure. Laura's running a nonpartisan organization, which is as it should be. But certainly you could see a partisan application for this, where Democratic clubs in all the high schools across the country, of which there are in virtually every high school, could start taking this on as a mission where they try to get this nonpartisan, it can be Democrat and Republican, thing done in their high schools. And so there's a lot of, the reason I'm so enthusiastic about this is that having had kids who are 22, 20, and 17 who attended 3 different high schools, I've recently been in this world, and I think this could be very, very effective. And so, Laura, thank you for this, the great insight you've had, for the great work you're doing. And let me get, my God, we have 23 questions.